Gonna keep on singing loudly. Keep on singing loudly. Keep on singing loudly. Never turning back. Never turning back. Gonna work the change together. Work the change together. Gonna work the change together. Never turning back. Never turning back. Gonna keep on loving boldly. Keep on loving boldly. Gonna keep on loving boldly. Never turning back. Never turning back. Gonna keep on laughing freely. Keep on laughing freely. Gonna keep on laughing freely. Never turning back. Never turning back. Keep on, keep on, keep on, keep on. Gonna keep on walking forward. Keep on walking forward. Gonna keep on walking forward. Never turning back. Never turning back.
I still believe, though it's hard now. Helps me to find some things that will lead me away from doubt. A conscious choice to try and find a calmer voice. Remembering the softer place, like the smile on my mama's face. I still believe, in the middle of my darkest days, I promise myself not to lose my way. At least not for long. That's why I sat down to write this song. It's a conscious choice to try and find my higher voice. Look away from all the trouble in the world today. What makes my heart sink? Mostly it's just the weight of the darker things that I think. So it's a conscious choice to try and find my loving voice and stay in the softest place, for there lies the saving grace. I still believe even if it's harder now. Even if it's harder now.
If you want to be one with the water, dance with the river, sing with the sea. If you want to be one with the air, rage with the thunder and whisper to me when you're ready to become Stand strong and surrender, ready to be one. If you want to be one with the earth, melt with the mountain, shift with the sun, walk the fire. If you want to be one with the fire, burn all your bridges and reach for my hand when you're ready to become. Stand strong, stand strong and surrender, ready to be one. If you want to be one with the infinite, spin with the planets, shine with the star, your spirit. And if you want to be one, keep your spirit, surrender. You already are ready to become. Stand strong and surrender, ready to be one. When you're ready to become, stand strong and surrender, ready to be one. If you want to be one, show me the sign. If you want to be one, 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 to be one, if you want to be one.
Good morning. Welcome again to this gathering of mind and spirit. Thank you for choosing to spend some time with us. This is a group that organizes around covenant rather than creed. As Unitarian Universalists, we've found that we don't have to believe alike or think alike in order to share principles that place love and compassion and truth and justice as our priorities. In these shifting, disorienting times, we want to be here for you however we can in a responsible way. So please know that whoever you are, whatever your age, race, origin, orientation, background, status, ability, identity, you're welcome here. I hope you'll check some of the other offerings that All Souls has for gatherings. This is a critical time for staying connected. It's important to be intentional about it. These are not only critical times for the health of the individual or our families, but also for our organizations, a critical time for our state, for our country, for the world, and there are many things calling us to pay attention and extend our care. Staying connected is the only way we can do things that strengthen our communities and make us effective at responding to anything that comes up that requires the voice and the energy of people who care. In this community, we try to treat respectfully people with differing paths and opinions. This is not always easy, but it is our challenge and it is our covenant. I would like to invite our board president to share a word or two.
Hey, thanks, Barbara. And yeah, I'm Bennett Upton, the board president. And I feel like you were saying what I say every week, which is that everybody needs to stay connected, and we want to hear from everyone and keep everyone involved. But that actually wasn't what I was going to talk about this week. Which this week I was going to say that our new board is gathering, and we've been coming up with a lot of plans to work on throughout the course of the year. It's the time of our kind of turnover for the new board, and we'd like to hear some input from you as well. We cannot work on anything that is partisan political, but we can absolutely do issue advocacy, and we can get involved in community organizations, and we can do all kinds of things, And so basically, what do you think that the church should be doing right now? And what issues are important to you? What movements are you involved in? And where do you think that we as a congregation can make a difference? And I'd just like to invite you to maybe post that into the comments on Facebook, or send me an email if you've got links to things like that. I'm just curious to see what's going on out there, and to hear everyone's ideas. And to be clear, some of them are kind of obvious, like Black Lives Matter. We're going to be involved in doing something along those lines. So if you think we should do more of that, then what kinds of actions do you have heart for? What kinds of things do you think that we should be doing? And maybe a little bit more specifically than just, let's go do these things. Like, we need to know kind of how we can make a difference. And we want to know what's important to you, and how we can make changes in our community. So yeah, I look forward to hearing your thoughts, and I'm going to hand things over to Susan. Thanks.
Sorry.
Good morning. It's wonderful. I've already been kind of saying hello to a lot of you this morning. We're so glad that you've joined us for our service. I just want to remind you of a few things as Bennett and Barbara were saying about staying connected. We have family religious education for our younger kids, pre through fifth. It'll be after church today at 1 o'clock, and right after church we'll have virtual coffee hour. I believe that the link for that will be in the comments, and we would love to see you. It's just a chance to, we can't all be in the social hall and have coffee, but bring BYOC, bring your own coffee, and we'll get together after church and just kind of check in and see how you're doing. Another thing we do in the middle of the week is we do a Zoom lunch on Wednesdays at noon. And that is just a time. Lunch is optional, strictly up to you, but that's just a time for us to get together and see how we're doing in all of this. It can be, some people are busier than ever with work. Some people are home and kind of isolated. Our experiences are all different, but we just want to stay connected, and we want you to know that you have a community. And if there's something you need, we want to, please reach out, because we want to know what that is. And I think that is all I have for right now. Thank you, Barbara and Bennett.
Well, thank you all. Let's move now to a time of worship where we consider in the Old English roots of the word things that we lift up, things and contemplate things that are important and of worth. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near. We arrive together here, seekers of meaning, of love, of healing, of justice, of truth. The journey is long, and joy and woe accompany us at every step. None is born that does not die. None feels pleasure that does not also feel pain. The tear has not yet dried on the cheek, but the lips curve sweetly in a smile. Numerous are our origins, our paths, and our destinations, and yet, happily, our ways have joined together here today. Source of life, source of love, may our joining be a blessing. May it be something that brings comfort to those who are in pain. May it bring hope to those who despair. May it bring peace to those who tremble in fear. May it bring wisdom and guidance for our journeys. And through this joining, though this joining may be for some just a moment in time, or for all of us just a moment in time, the moment is all we can ever be certain of. So may we embrace this and every moment of our lives. Great unity beyond all differences. Uphold us when weak. Embrace us when broken. Transform us when partial. Restore to us your great unity, that we and the green earth and the cosmic law may become one. We bearers of dream affirm that a new vision of hope is emerging. We pledge to work for that community in which justice will be actively present. We affirm there is a struggle yet ahead, and still we know that in the struggle is the hope for the future. I would like to invite the Carlyles to lead us in the first part of our chalice lighting.
Hi.
Hi.
We light this
We light this town
to celebrate Unitarian Universalism. This is the Church of the Open Mind. This is the Church of the Loving Heart. This is the Church of the Helping Hands.
Thank you both very much.
And
We light our flaming chalice as a beloved people united in love and thirsting for restorative justice. May it melt away the tethers that uphold whiteness in our midst. May it spark in us a spirit of humility. May it ignite in us radical love that transforms our energy into purposeful action. This is a chalice of audacious hope. This chalice shines a light on our shared past, signaling our intention to listen deeply, reflect wisely, and move boldly toward our highest ideals. Deep calls unto deep. Joy calls unto joy. Light calls unto light. Let the kindling of this flame rekindle in us the inner light of love, of peace, of hope. And as one flame lights another, nor grows the less, we pledge ourselves to be bearers of this light wherever we go. Today, I'm excited to have Nikki McLean with us, our former treasurer, to lead us in our unison affirmation.
Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to service human need, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the sacred. Thus we do covenant with each other.
Thank you very much, Nikki. Let us join our voices in the melodies of those songs that reach into and heal wounded souls. And if you don't care to sing with me, try at least saying the words, preferably out loud. And if you can't bring yourself to say the words out loud, then speak them with your heart. I simply want your soul to feel them. I offer this song today from the Civil Rights Movement in honor of John Lewis. Too many of the icons, the leaders of the pieces of movements that are still unfinished, but the pieces that lifted up the strength and necessity of love are falling around us. Let's be the bearers of that light. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. We'll walk hand hand. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we'll walk hand in hand someday. We shall all be free. We shall all be free. We shall all be free someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe that we will all be free someday. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall live in peace someday.
Good morning. Thank you for that, Barbara. I was fortunate enough to see, Barbara and I both were, to see Representative Lewis at General Assembly in 2015. And I have a little piece of video that I took that I put on my Facebook page that I'll share on the church page later today. Of his answer when actually Cornel West asked him how he stayed committed to the struggle through all those years and through all the hardship that he went through. And it will always be one of the highlights of my life. And so I promise to share that on the church page later today. I'm telling a story today that I've told before and will tell again because I think it's an important story, and it goes with our theme today and with our memory of Representative Lewis and trying to carry out his legacy. So there's a teaching from the Jewish tradition called Tikkun Olam, which means the repair of the world. And according to the story, at the beginning of creation, God did tzimtzum, which is that God contracted God's divine self to make room for this wonderful creation. So the divine light became contained in special vessels, but the divine light was so enormous that a lot of the vessels shattered into unlimited pieces that were scattered all around the universe. And each of us contains a piece of that divine light, a piece of that broken, that broken light. And it's up to us to unite with each other to restore that light and to repair the world. And we do that by acts of justice and loving kindness. So I encourage us as we go through our daily lives to think about how we can do this. Think about, as Bennett said earlier, the movements we can be involved with. Think about something as simple as wearing your mask to protect others around you, not only you, but others around you. Let us be the light in search of the light, finding each other and carrying each other home. As the teaching says, you are not obligated to complete the work, but neither are you free to abandon it. And I ask that you carry that with you into the week. Thanks.
Good morning. I'm Larry Haitian. Let yourself find a comfortable position where your body can be balanced right. Begin with shifting your attention to your heart space and imagine breathing in and allow your breath to deepen and slow. The great ocean of humanity. At the surface, waves, so many differing cultures and beliefs, so many different, yet at the depth there is an undivided oneness, an interbeing and supports each and all. Here in this oneness, we share the same life, the same breath, the same earth. Hopes and fears, the same vulnerabilities, the same. And reflect, may I hold a vision where all our need, vision where all my choices honor our oneness. May the seeds of peace, and that celebrates our potential for compassion. And may I bring this vision to life here on earth now. May I walk this path of oneness together with family and people, with all of life, so that together we may hand this sacred world of mystery to future generations. Silence. Reflect how every breath, every thought, every step blossom as an affirmation of the oneness we all share.
Good morning. Okay. Good morning. I was asked by Barbara Jarrell, our minister, to talk a little bit about my experience with oneness. And my name is Barbara Deger, and I'm a member of All Souls. When I was a little girl, my parents told me that Jesus lived in my heart. And that really sent me on a path, on a trajectory to understanding oneness. I told everyone that I was made up of molecules of God and that they were too. And through my relationship, I was open to nature. I felt at one from the very beginning. I didn't just see a bird, I was the bird. I didn't just see a tree, I was the tree. So for me, being at one with nature has always been very easy. Being at one with myself was a different story. I had to learn to be at one with my body and my feelings and my thoughts. I had to find my true home, as Thich Nhat Hanh would say, and love myself unconditionally and treat myself with gentleness at all times. There are parts of me that are still broken, and I need to spend time through meditation to invite each broken piece of me to the table so that all of us have a voice. Being at one with others, to me, is a grace. It's a gift. And it's something that I can't necessarily control. In my experience, it involves getting out of the way of my own agenda and surrendering. In other words, this oneness usually springs from the soil of my own vulnerability. I feel at one with others when I share my brokenness. I am more open, I am more receptive to their jagged edges when I realize that that fits into my jagged edges. And through our time together, we are both made whole. What being at one means for me is recognizing that we all are made of divine DNA, the inherent worth of everyone. We are parts of the same whole. It means being at one with ourselves because every part of who we are needs our love and kindness. And being at one with others means being grateful for those moments of grace when we see ourselves in others and become their lovers for life. As the poet Rumi once said, the minute I heard my first love story, I started looking for you, not knowing how blind that was. Lovers don't finally meet somewhere. They have been in each other all along. Thank you.
Now, where were we? Yes. Well, hopefully you're somewhat relaxed, like you have a bit of clear air around you for just a few moments, and some of the knots are beginning to loosen. This morning, I would like to invite you, as I did Barbara Deger, to consider what this oneness that Unitarian Universalists talk about on so many different levels means to you. What does it mean for you to be one with others? To be one with the world? To be one with the universe? And how does that manifest in your life? We know that we have but one world. The interdependent web of all existence is not only our connection, but it's what keeps us alive here on this planet. One family. Sometimes we can spend a lot more time looking at and thinking about the broken parts of the world, obsessing about the broken parts, so that we totally lose sight of the wholeness and the connection. The shards of the eternal beginning that each of us carry buried under the piles of activities and preoccupations. When the Buddhists speak of being one with everything, and I know some of you are running the joke through your head, and if you don't know what it is, you can look it up online, it's everywhere. When Buddhists speak of being one with everything, my understanding is that they're addressing the illusion of separateness. That our sense that we're alone and individual and all of that is the illusion that enlightenment moves you past. The brokenness is all part of the whole. In Tikkun Olam, that brokenness is, the whole is understood to be with the brokenness. But as we're focusing on all this brokenness, I am put in mind of an art class I had. One of my first two, I was at a college with quarters, my first 2 quarters in college. It was an art class, an architecture class. And one of the exercises that the instructor, the professor had us do was he set up a still life, and our job was to draw what was between the objects, what's called negative space. If we get focused on the brokenness, if we get focused on our preoccupations, we can easily lose sight of the space between where the connections are. Yesterday, during our board sallying forth, we mentioned something that's coming up in this denomination and that will be coming up probably pretty soon here in our congregation, and that is to adopt the 8th principle. You know, we've had 7 for a number of years now, and they get developed through our association of congregations. And the 8th principle, which hopefully we will very soon be adopting for our own congregation, says that we, the member congregations of the Unitarian Universalist Association, covenant to affirm and promote journeying towards spiritual wholeness by working to build a diverse, multicultural, beloved community by our actions that accountably dismantle racism with and other oppressions in ourselves and in our institutions. The goal of world community, which is part of another one of our principles, is hard work. It takes hard work to move beyond our own ideas and coziness with our favorite conclusions, our own crusty, rusty, and too well-worn and familiar notions. It's very easy for us to look at the faults of others and think we are not the problem. But Gandhi talked about 7 social blunders, other people have called them social sins, of passive violence, passive destruction. And these were knowledge without character, science without humanity, wealth without work, commerce without morality, politics without principle, pleasure without conscience, and worship without sacrifice. The balance of negative space and the objects are necessary to keep in context so that we see the whole. The whole doesn't have just the objects, whether the ones we're focusing on are positive or negative. Eventually, mindfully, we have to take a longer, harder, broader look at what gets cast aside. Many people come to this congregation, to this tradition, having been wounded by associations or faith traditions or just experiences that were prior to their arrival here. Yes, this is to be a secure place where people have a chance to begin to address those hurts and that woundedness. And then, given some time, begin to look at, consider, and work through the trauma. All of the world's great religious traditions teach us that the only way to get to that unified experience of the world is either through great suffering or great love. This week we lost John Lewis. John Lewis was a man who suffered greatly, who sacrificed for a cause, and it was somewhere in that suffering he came to understand the importance of that underlying love. The profound calm and courage of Dr. King and John Lewis had come at a great price, but ultimately it was built on an unshakable foundation of love and faith. They knew without question that their vision had to become a reality, that somewhere it was more real than anything else. On the march in Washington, John Lewis shared, "We will march with the spirit of love and with the spirit of dignity that we've shown here today. By the force of our demands, our determination, and our numbers, we shall splinter the segregated South into 1,000 pieces and put them together in the image of God and democracy. We must say, 'Wake up, America, wake up,' for we cannot stop, and we will not and cannot be patient." It's funny to think of him as an impatient man when everything about him presented calm. The brokenness must be transformed, not ignored, not cast aside, whether it's our own or that of the world around us. The oneness that only shows up when we are wide open, no matter what it is that carries us there, wide open, we have chances for glimpses of that understanding from the mountaintop, of the clarity that that's truth there, in that animating connective tissue. John Lewis was able to forgive the man who cracked his head open and almost killed him on Bloody Sunday. He said he had no ill will toward the man, and the man actually came to him, and they spoke, and John, Representative Lewis, said, "I forgive you." Could you do that? Can we do that? Can we learn enough about opening ourselves to the underlying principles of love that in the face of the most horrendous things, we don't lose our balance. We don't lose our kindness. We don't lose our connection and awareness of the oneness of which we are all a part. That divine spark, those drops of Jesus, the shards of creation. If you've ever been there, whether it was from falling in love or from grief that could not be assuaged, that connection permeates, and the memory stays with you. The things that we do that make it go away or put up expectations, get our concern focused back on us, or behaving in some sort of bitter or critical, destructive, hateful way. It chases that experience away just like a wild animal. The direct experience, one of our sources for Unitarian Universalism, of the transcending mystery and wonder affirmed in all cultures, which moves us to a renewal of the spirit and an openness to the forces which create and uphold life, is the oneness. The oneness is to stand or side with love. These t-shirts came from a campaign. This one says standing on the side of love. Now the campaign says siding with love so as not to be ableist. But these campaigns were all about not standing against other stuff exactly, but against anything that diminishes the human spirit. Anything that would displace love and justice. We have to do, as John Lewis said, find ways to get in the way. Find ways to get in trouble. Good trouble, necessary trouble, so that the status quo will not be what we go back to if and when the dust settles from all of this. He was always positive, constructive, and never hateful. And every time he spoke, he said, we must not stop. We must never give up. We must continue to work and believe. Know the oneness as much more than a theoretical or metaphorical expression. It's the truth that we seek. It's what fits in the negative space, the God-shaped, spirit-shaped hole in our lives that we search for and chase after, whether it's with possessions or entertainment or distraction. The oneness is sitting there waiting. Truth is what we seek. It is life. We are life. We are one. What you do affects me. What I do affects you. And therein, I think, lies the meaning. Billy Jonas said, if you want to be one with the Spirit, surrender. You already are. I'd invite you to join me singing One with the Spirit. I've adapted the words for the day and occasion. Some of you may be familiar with the song. We are one in the Spirit. We are one in the truth. We are one in the Spirit. We are one in the truth. And we pray that our unity may swiftly be renewed. And we'll grow in that vision by our love, and we'll grow in that vision by our love. We are one in the Spirit. We are one in the truth. We are one in the Spirit. We are one in the truth. And we pray that our unity may swiftly be renewed. And we'll grow in that vision by our love, as we'll grow in that vision by our love. I will continue to advocate for erring on the side of caution during these times. No matter who you are around besides those with whom you live, wear a mask. Outside, if there will be any instances where you're closer than 6 feet, wear a mask. If you work outside of your home and will be in close proximity to others when you get back to your home, wear a mask. Lead by example, assuming that you are an asymptomatic carrier. Protect those within the walls of your own world and those around you. The Reverend Dr. Theron Jackson said, mask up to protect others, wash up to protect yourself, back up to socially distance so that you can stay up and do the work. As we prepare to go our separate ways again, I offer these words from Bruce Southworth. In our hungering for meaning, in our aching for friendship, in our yearning for justice, in our hearts remembering of finer days, may we look deep within the mystery of things and gather there our strength. May each of us proclaim as one of God's spies the graceful power of life and love, and so may we live in hope. Out of the troubled world of expediency and selfish strife, we have come to this place today, set apart for renewal of our vision. Wondrous source of love and life, great unity beyond all difference. Uphold us when we're weak. Embrace us when we're broken. Transform us when we're partial. Restore to us your great unity that we in the green earth and cosmic law may again experience that underlying oneness. Amen. Ashe. So be it. Blessed be. Travel safe.